Let's measure the effect of line width and nozzle diameter to the strength of spiral mode printing. Welcome to my tech fun. I printed so many things in this spiral mode, and I will explain you soon what is this method if you are not familiar, and I will show you some examples too. And typically when I print some functional part, I think this trash can is the most common object I printed for my family members, for my colleagues, and 1/3 of them ended broken, typically on this overhang, so this printing method don't like these overhangs. And I decided to investigate this to see how can we improve the strength of this spiral mode printing. Of course, very important is the filament with good layer adhesion, but this is not what I'm testing here. And I know that there are several videos on this topic already, but you know me, I like to measure things. Let me show you first a few examples. Simple vase, and sometimes I could even make them watertight, but we have to be very careful with this. Simple cups, trophy for kids, boat which floats on the water, phone holder printed very fast, Christmas tree with some lights below, rose, tricky spiral mode, but it can be printed very fast too. Just for fun, I printed these partly transparent bottles and I inserted a small benchy on the mid print, and they're also printed in the vase mode. I already mentioned the trash can, and now I noticed that we have a poop bucket which can be printed in vase mode. When I printed mine for Bamboo Lab X1 and P1P, I think it was printed in 16 or 17 hours. And now we have a simpler version which can be printed much faster, I think in 3.5 hours or something like that. Let me explain you this method. This video and the whole channel is sponsored by Polymaker, and for the main testing I will use their new PLA Pro filament. Spiral or vase mode is a special 3D printing method where the printer creates an object using one single continuous wall. Instead of printing in layers with start and stop points, like on this slow motion footage, maybe you can see the jumps to the next layer. In vase mode, the nozzle moves upwards in a smooth spiral without retractions or layer changes. And actually this is the real 3D printing method and not 2.5D. Just imagine parameters like one wall, 0 top layers and 0 infill. And in this case we would get some similar object, well similar but still very different because this is still printing layer by layer. And don't be confused if you download some object for the spiral or vase mode printing and you see that it is solid inside. It will be hollow if you enable this printing method. And here you can see where can you enable this printing method in the Prusa slicer. Just confirm yes. And this is in Bamboo Studio, others, and scroll down, spiral vase mode. Confirm and it's ready. This means no seams already mentioned, very smooth outer surface and fast printing. We can get quite big objects in a very short time. But we have a lot of limitations. It's only for thin hollow parts and it's perfect for things like vases, cups, containers, but it is not for strong or load-bearing parts. And the main aim for this video is to see how much stronger will it be if we increase the line width. This is the outer wall in the slicer. And don't forget, even with 0.4mm nozzle, we can print 0.6 or 0.8mm thick lines. And what happens if we use 0.6 or 0.8mm nozzle? And this is my plan, so here you can see the diameters of the nozzle, and these are the lines I will test. So with the first diameter, I will try to go from 0.4 up to 1mm if possible. Bamboo Lab PLA Basic. And the main printing will be on P2S because it's much easier to change the nozzle. But I need few test objects. I want to check the deviation. So I'm printing with 0.4mm nozzle, 0.8 is the wall thickness. And I will have several from these test objects. I just want to see the deviation of my testing because I hope that it will be small. And in that case, one test object per point is enough. And each is printed using the same G-code. I have here 5 test objects using exactly the same G-code. And this is my new tensile testing machine, which is currently equipped with the bending test holder. And this is real-time speed. And in the left upper corner you can follow the maximal load currently 111.9 newtons. And I will repeat this with all 5 objects. This is the first, second, third, fourth and fifth object. So these are 5 measurings. This is the average value, but what is more important, the standard deviation. This is so low, 0.8%. If I convert these newtons to the kilograms, the deviation is more than 0.1 kilograms. So this means that one test object per size and line will be enough. So all I have to do is to print these objects and measure these 12 points. Before I start the printing, this is the information from the slicer. Let's discuss the printing time. Nozzle diameter, and this is the printing time in seconds, huge difference. This is mostly because of different layer height, which is usually half of the nozzle diameter. For the rest of the testing, I'm using Polymaker PLA Pro filament in red color. In all 3 cases, I will use standard flow nozzles starting with 0.6 mm. Small contact area, that's why the brim is automatically enabled in the Bamboo Studio. I think this could be printed even without it, but I will just leave the default settings. Same object, only changing the line width to 0.8 mm. I decided not to use the brim because with the thicker lines it is much harder to remove that brim. This was the last one with 0.6 mm nozzle. Line thickness is 1.2 mm. On P2S it is extremely easy replacing the nozzle. I can do it with one hand, holding the camera in the other, installing the 0.8 mm with one hand, installing the silicone sock also with one hand, and very important, in the settings changing the nozzle size. Printing with 0.8 mm nozzle and 0.4 mm layer height, but there are no layers actually here. And one last nozzle change from 0.8 to 0.4 millimeters. .4 mm nozzle, noticeably slower printing compared to previous two. Each are printed and labeled. This is 0.4, 0.6 and 0.8 mm nozzle, and the thicker lines are on the top. Let's measure their mass. This one is the lightest object with 0.4 mm line width. And this one is the heaviest, 1.4 mm is the line width. Now let's enter this into Excel table. Measured values. On x-axis we can see the line width, on y-axis is the mass in grams, and we can see nice linear correlation. This means objects printed with the same line width have very similar mass. Of course I will measure all 12 points, but in the video I will just include 0.4 mm, weakest and the strongest, and same for 0.8, weakest and the strongest. Now let's analyze this. All measured values, and they are presented on this graph. This is the line width and this is the maximal load in newtons for different nozzle diameters. Of course, bigger line width will result stronger part. But what happens if we have the same line width but a different nozzle diameter, and we have actually these 2 points? They are presented separately on this graph. This means if we have the same line width, it is better to print it with a smaller nozzle because the line is more squeezed, resulting a stronger part compared to bigger diameter nozzle. More or less what I expected. Bigger line width will result stronger part. Also with the diameter, bigger diameter will result stronger part, but only if we increase the line width. If from some reason we need exactly, 0.8 mm wall thickness, it is much better to print it with a smaller nozzle, let's say 0.4 mm instead of 0.6 or 0.8. Okay, that would be it from my side. Huge thanks to all my Patreon supporters, because thanks to their donations I don't mind doing this kind of big works too, because I earn only approximately $10 or $15 from YouTube ads, and I don't even want to enable the ads during the video. Thank you for watching this video until the end, and happy printing!